Welcome to week 2 of Assessment in Education. This week we're going to be looking at assumptions and stereotypes in association with the idea of assessment practice in schools and colleges and nurseries, etc. etc. Assumptions and stereotypes, what are we talking about? Well, an assumption is where you hold a belief about something and you believe that thing to be a fact. Often people talk about something being common sense. They'll say, well, it's common sense to think that this is the case. Where you hold that kind of thinking about something, that is an assumption. It's something you believe to be true but have no evidence to back up that belief. So a belief without proof, a belief in terms of something that's a fact, is an assumption. And as part of your studies on this degree, you have become increasingly encouraged to be critical about assumptions, to challenge the assumptions you may hold. In your feedback, in your assignments for various modules during this degree, you may have seen the comment in your writing, unsubstantiated assumption or unsubstantiated assertion. That's where you have said something, you've presented something as a fact without backing up that fact with evidence from literature or research. And we get these assumptions going on in education all the time. Assumptions that children make, assumptions that parents make, assumptions that teachers make. And what I want us to do in this module at this point is to think about the impact that these types of assumptions may have on the progress of learners. That's one thing to think about. And the other element we're thinking about this week is the idea of stereotypes. Stereotypes and assumptions are related to a certain extent. So a stereotype is where you think about a group of people, people in a particular demographic. And when I'm talking about a demographic, I'm talking about a group of people who share the same racial or gender or age characteristics, for example, and then attaching to that group of people a single characteristic. All the people in that group are like this. That's a stereotype. And obviously that's very closely linked to ideas around sexism, ideas around racism, and it's something we need to challenge. And the same thing happens in our classrooms. Sometimes teachers may attach stereotypes to particular groups of pupils, and those stereotypes may be linked to their approaches to the assessment of pupils in the class. So what we're doing here is trying to think about these stereotypes, think about these assumptions, consider the impact that these assumptions and stereotypes may have on pupil progress, pupil attainment. What difference might they make from the teacher's perspective, and what difference might it make from the learner's perspective? What will a learner think if they've got a sense that the teacher has particular views about what their abilities are? So these are some key issues we're exploring this week. There's a video that I'd like you to look at in advance of the live session, and there's some thinking and some reading that you've got to do in advance of the live session. Have a look at the materials set out for session 2. Looking forward to working with you soon. Take care.